welcome to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. It appears Instagram is wonky today. Come back if you popped into the Instagram. If you took every galaxy across the entire universe of galaxies, and the expansive universe of stars and gaseous emanations. If you were to take all of the nebulae and all of the supernova, let me just stop you right there. Neil deGrasse Tyson. May I call you Neil deGrasse Tyson? Of course you could call me that. That is my name. It seems that you have that 90% of your name is 25% your middle name. As a cosmetologist, I do not agree with that math. Well, I would just like to say that as the senator from Vermont and the popular meme currently very much fading out of sight, a meme that is no longer relevant. People do not seem to be caring about this meme much longer. What is it? Get on with it. I'm just saying that you could afford. Yes, a cosmetologist. As a cosmetologist, if I tell you that I'm a Capricorn, could you tell me my future? I believe you're thinking of astrology. I'm an esthetician. Wait. As a cosmetologist, you could probably put a good coating of nail polish on my fingernails. I believe that I do need a haircut. I do need a trim up top. I don't know if you see that I perhaps have grown some more hair at the top. Bernie, it seems that your welcome is wearing out. I just have a question for you. What is it, Bernie? As I have staying power as the senator from Vermont, I have been around for 40 plus years with the same agenda and these same mittens. I have not changed my coat since the first time anyone has laid eyes on me. Yes. As I was saying, the universe is old. It is billions of years old. Now, when you say billions, where are those billions being spent? Do we know where those years are being spent properly? Are they being properly accounted for? Do you know that the upper 99% of the universe is not using many of these years? Hello, Ange. Oh, here we go. Here come the comments. There's really nothing to this meme. Bernie, I can tell you as a rockbiter that is billions of years old, and as a esthetician. Where is this? Hey, Bernie, those look like big, strong mittens, don't they? Oh, space almost moved out of the way. Yes, these mittens were made by a woman in Vermont. She is currently collecting minimum wage due to the pandemic. So she would appreciate if you less than minimum wage because she's on Etsy. So if you buy these gloves from her, I'm sure she will make out like GameStop made out earlier today. GameStop. I have stock in GameStop. What about AMC? As you know, movies are currently very difficult to watch. You cannot go to the theater? You have to watch them at home. I, on the other hand, have my mind and the stars above. I have the imagination, limitless, as is the universe. I'm not so sure about that, tough guy. I think that the universe has its limits. It should be regulated like the stock market. You should put some bounds on that universe, and perhaps there should be limitations to what the universe can do. Bernie, you're always thinking civically. You have a brilliant civic mind. I, however, am a cosmetologist. Well, anyway, I'm sitting here. I need you to cut my hair. While you're at it, tell me about the expansiveness of the universe. Ah, the Expanse. Yes, we're going to watch the Expanse today. I cannot wait to see that show. Hopefully, Amos will be in his underwear. I understand that is a very popular demand for Amos, and I support his decision to disrobe on television. As you could see, the universe is made of myriad people and rock biters. The expansiveness of we will travel for eons and eons, and for light years to come. Wait, light years are a unit of distance, not time. Let me make sure I turn off my headphones. Uh-oh. Sorry, guys, on Instagram, you probably heard something silly just now. But now you can hear us clearly. Welcome to the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. Today, we mentioned this many times. If you are watching, if this is your first time here, yes, if this is your first time here, please subscribe, because this is the future of the internet. This show, there are no other shows as expansive as the Aristotle Full Throttle Show. I would also not mind if Drummer, maybe perhaps there was another scene or two with Drummer. She seems very tough. Also Naomi, she is very tough. These are Bobby, and Bobby, she's wonderful. Also Fred Johnson. Wait a minute, Fred Johnson is dead, sorry. Spoiler! Anyway, as we travel, we will land on Ganymede. Oh my god, this show's gone on for 9 minutes already. We need to stop this nonsense. Please subscribe, like, share, and do all of the things. You can win. Tell them what they can win, Rockbiter. Guys, I think you should end this. Listen, here's the deal. You can win. Oh, hey, Bernie, come here. Get out of here, Bernie. Get out of here, Bernie! Don't come back. He probably won't. I mean, that meme is so old. Anyway, guys, here's the deal. We're going to give away a PS5, a PlayStation 5. You want a PlayStation 5? Just subscribe. It's easy. Subscribe, like, share. Subscribe on Twitch, twitch.tv/AristotleFullThrottle. Subscribe or pledge at least $1 a month on Patreon. Patreon.com/AristotleFullThrottle. It's very easy. I mean, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Get it together. You guys know what's up. Why do I have to solve every problem? All right, I'm out of here.
I think she's right, man.
What do you mean?
You know, we've been putting our heads together for months now, and I can't think of a single intelligent thing that the two of us have said between us.
Yeah, but you're dead eyes, though.
Those dead eyes. Ange likes to talk about your dead eyes. I think perhaps Ange might have a crush on you, Rockbiter. Bah! Bah! You think so? I do. Ah! Well, let me go get my hair cut. Do you mind cutting my hair? I don't see any hair on your head. But mostly it's rocks. But you might find a couple trees up there. You might want to cut down those trees. That's my hair. I got tree hair.
Well, the universe is mysterious in many ways and has created all types of creatures and beings. Hey, Rockbiter.
Yeah?
How long have we been doing this?
Oh, I don't know. Since the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, it hasn't been 500 million years. It's like a blink of an eye for me, man. There's nothing. Less than the blink of an eye. I'm 500 million years old, man. That's old.
the universe is 17 billion.
What?
17 billion.
Oh, man. I probably got older relatives that... Let's go to Ganymede, man. Let's go end up on Ganymede. You want to watch a show with me? Yeah. Are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Why? Why though?
Who cares, man? It's our world. It's our galaxy. It's our universe. We can do whatever we want. Here in the cosmos.
Cosmos Death. Cosmos Death. We should make another character named Cosmos Death. Oh man, yeah, this is like 1/4 of the entire show. Does it appreciate your bullying? What happened with Twitch? Are we still on the air?
There's no way to tell. There's no way of knowing. But what I can tell you is I got this tie at Marshall's.
Marshall's, man.
Yeah. I never turned down a cosmetologist tie.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think cosmetologist means what you think it means. I'm a cosmologist. Maybe. Are you, have you... You know, I might need my toenails clipped. Wow. What is even happening, man? This is crazy. We've traded voices.
Yeah. Let me see if I can do an impression of you.
Yeah.
That's basically how you sound, right?
Bah. Bah, blah, bah. 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 Bah, 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 bah. 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 No, you go. No, you go. You go.
No, now you go.
Bah, bah.
Now you go.
Now you go. That's what you sound like to me.
It is unfortunate that you have all had to witness this. It is sad and disheartening, but not as sad as I. Lo, I am a pig and a man. I have been banished to the stomach of the Rockabiter and forced to listen to this entire interaction. It is making me want to to plug my pig ears. My gigantic pig ears. Hey, Bernie.
Yes, I have retired to this area because I thought there would be less nonsense. But it turns out I have discovered a man who is half pig and half man. His name is Werner Herzog.
Yes. I am also sorry, Eonolita. It is very sad. There is no cheering me up. This will never make me laugh.
Tell me about it. This would never make me laugh either. I mean, I'm laughing at the fact that it doesn't make me laugh. I mean, it's like absurd to the point that it's not funny, and it's not funny, and that's why it makes me laugh. And that's why. Listen. Hey, Annalena, some might call me a hater. Yeah, except for this show. This show is terrible. I can't watch the show. Even though I've seen every Friends, have watched every single episode of the Aristotle Full Throttle show. And I can tell you that there was one thing. Is it over? Tell me they're gone. Oh man, it was just coming from all angles. I didn't know what to do. I just sat here and witnessed this. I was just sitting here eating my Korean barbecue potato chips. I mean, these are pretty good. You probably heard me crunching. Hello everybody, I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. This is the Aristotle Full Throttle show. That was what we call a cold open, in the sense that it's so cold. It's so cold. How cold is it, you say? I don't know, let's ask my friend over here. Oh man, I wish I was quicker on the draw for this, but I can't. Here we go. Oops. How cold is it? It's so cold. It's ice cold. I like that. Ice cold. Hey, I noticed something. What did you notice, Arnold? Is that a new bobblehead? Oh my god. What? What is that? Is that Will? Is this Will? Is he dressed like a Jedi and holding a guitar? Yes. There's no bobblehead making their debut yesterday on the show. Welcome. Yes, you're right, Arnold. Let's get back to the main feed. So, hello. Today, this is Will. This is Will got his own his bobblehead. He's an OG gangster. This was Will. It was Will. This was Will. This is Will. Is this Will? Yes. I wasn't sure. We're just playing around today. We're having fun. This is what we do here. We have fun. There's so many buttons. Okay. Is this Will? Is this Will? Yes, exactly. Is this Will? Yes. I mean, what is this bobblehead? Is this Will? Yep. I see this bobblehead right here. Is this Will? Yeah. Is this Will? That's right. What is Will? Where is Will? Will, he'll be back. He'll be back, like Arnold says. You know that famous line where Arnold says, "He'll be back." Arnold is very funny, man. I was watching Arnold break down his most famous roles on like one of those videos. They're like 20 minutes long on the internet, and I find myself watching the entire video because, you know, I'm a YouTuber. I'm a streamer, I'm a live streamer, I'm
I don't want to say influencer because I don't know what kind. I'm an under the influencer. So if you're watching this show, hopefully you are under the influence of comedy or whatever you like. It's fine. I'm sure it will help. I'm sure it would help the show. You could be under the influence of potato chips or not potato chips. But I like to watch YouTube videos. I like the medium. I like the streaming platform. I like this medium. I feel like when I was a kid, there wasn't this stuff. And now there's this stuff, and I'm like, I've arrived. So this is fun. It's fun for me. It's fun for the whole family. Hey, Escape from Post. I'm sorry you had to miss that whole intro. I had to stop and restart the IG feed for you. Listen, I got your message about how to stream directly to Instagram. However, I would have to change the stream key, which is now going to Restream, which is distributing it across the platforms. So I don't know how to use two stream keys. So what I might have to do is have a separate feed or something go. I don't know I don't know how to do it. I think there are other platforms where you can go across this you can cross the streams. There are other platforms whereby you can cross the streams. I don't know why this just occurred to me for the first time right now that I am crossing the streams. There needs to be all types of visuals that represent this. I need to have, like, positron gliders, proton packs. There need to be people going, let's cross the streams. You know what I'm saying? Gozer herself has to show up. I hope Gozer shows up in the next Ghostbusters. Who goes there? I think thoughts on that. I forgot what I was talking about before this. Doesn't matter. Stream of consciousness. That's what we call this. Hopefully it's enjoyable to listen to. I'm just trying to get it out of my head. I'm going to get it out of my head and into yours. Sorry. But I do watch... I was talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, talking about his most famous roles. It's really funny. I've mentioned this before, but it's always fun to bring back bits. I was watching, and Arnold's like this. That was the role where I was like... So in Predator... Here, I'll have our friend tell this. Hey everybody, this is the Carl Weathers Predator Weathers Report featuring the Action Jackson AccuPredator Weathers Bernie Forecast Radar Doppler and Cardi B. What Aristotle Full Throttle was trying to say is that Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he was recounting the movie Predator, which I was in, I'm Carl Weathers, governor of Minnesota, and Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was the governor, he was the governor of California. Me, however, no governor. I did not govern a state. There's still time, though. But when Arnold was recounting his role in Predator, there's a famous line where he throws a knife through a guy and sticks the guy to a pole. And then the camera cuts back to Arnold and Arnold says a catchphrase. He says, "Stick around." That's my impression of Arnold. He goes like this, "Stick around." To the guy he sticks a knife through. And the way Arnold Schwarzenegger described this moment in one of his movies, in that video on YouTube, he was like this. So that is the scene where I'm standing there and I throw a knife into the guy and then the knife goes through him and it sticks him in the pole and then I say, "Stick around." So basically, the video in which Arnold describes his most famous roles is just Arnold Schwarzenegger describing the movies that he was in. He was like, "Yeah, then I was in Terminator and then I said, I'll be back." So Arnold, between your most famous roles and describing the behind the scenes, what went wrong? How did you cross the streams? How did you not know that you were saying just literally what we were looking at? We were looking at the screen. We were looking at what you were describing because we've seen the movie. We were hoping you could provide insight, which you did not. But we still love you, Arnold. Stick around. It's gonna rain. She was doing the radar forecast. She was doing the Doppler effect for the radar. She was doing radar Doppler effect. Hey guys, you could get a sweatshirt. You guys want a sweatshirt? Do you want a sweatshirt that represents all of this nonsense? You can get one. It's at Teespring. There's a link below. Look, this is my goal. Eventually have nobody watching the show. I'm just gonna have fun. Me and Grogu are gonna be the only ones having fun. No, I appreciate you guys sticking around and having fun and hanging out. And I'm just trying to make you crack up. I'm just trying to make you laugh a little bit. And we geek out a little bit. I like it. It's fun. And at the end of the hour, we're going to watch the Expanse. You guys like the Expanse? It's good. It's a good show. Except the last couple episodes. I would just like to say the last episode, I thought about it a lot. I was thinking about Naomi, and she was marking these marks on the wall, and she was putting on a spacesuit, and then she was going into the thing, and then she was running out of breath, and I was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And I thought I was going to sound dumb if I didn't know what was happening. But then all of us kind of at the same time in the chat on the Discord were like, I don't know what's happening right now. And I was like, thank God I'm not the only one. But there was a recap show where Amos and Andy explained everything. Mike and Ike. What was the thing you said, Ricky? Mike and Ike? Mike. That was so funny. I cannot get over it. Mike and Ike. Get some nonsensical merch. This show is the theater of the absurd. It's silly. It's just goofiness. We goof around. We goober around. We talk about geeky stuff, and we just get into it. I mean, look. This show is just as good as Whitney Cummings' show, which I like. But she just sits there and hangs out with her friends and just talks to them, and then they just joke. I mean, that's content? Sure, that's content. But what we're going to do here is going to play some more games. We play games sometimes. It was so funny. It was Mike and Ike. But we play games here. We're going to do some more silly stuff. I want to do some, not like stunts, but we'll be like, oh, here are some vomit tasting jelly beans, Aristotle. Why don't you try that? And I'll be like, oh, that's disgusting. Well, I don't know why I thought I would like it. Next. We can do stuff like that here. Have fun, I like to watch people do silly things. I like Hot Ones. You ever watch Hot Ones? I don't eat meat, so sometimes I don't watch it. But I think some people will eat like vegan wings too on that show. But it's fun because I watch that show and it's like you really get into interesting parts of people's minds when they're like whole faces on fire. So what we're going to do here is light people's faces on fire. I hope you don't mind. I hope you didn't like your face because it's going to be burnt up. We're going to burn your face up. We're going to burn your face, take your face off. And we're going to give your face to Nicolas Cage to wear. Because, actually, we're going to give everybody Nicolas Cage's face to wear. And that way, we will have completed as a species. We will all have evolved into Nicolas Cage faces. And there's nowhere to go after that. It's like Star Wars Episode 8. There's nowhere to go. Which is, I disagree with. But you know that already. Famous Amos cookies. Yeah. So let's do all these fun things. I'll try out some new things. You don't want Nicolas Cage's face for your face? What's his name wanted his face for his face? John Travolta. Saturday Night Travolta Fever. Saturday Night Fever Sweats wanted his face for his face. That movie was interesting. I remember sitting at the movie theater watching Face Off and watching that slow motion somewhere over the rainbow thing, and I was like, John Woo was pretty interesting. I get what he's going for here. I'm not sure it's touching me in the right places. I feel violated. And I was like, I didn't think it was the greatest sequence, I appreciated the aesthetic of it. That it was like somewhere over the rainbow. It was like gun fu, you know, when they're jumping and shooting each other. I mean, it was pretty cool in that sense. But in the end of the day, I was like, you know, it seems like they're just. It's like he had that idea first and then built a movie around it. You can always tell that too. You ever notice where you go, oh, the entire movie was built around this one thing? And then another John Woo movie comes to mind, Mission Impossible 2. I remember in college, I just watched, I remember when I was 2 years old and I went to see Mission Impossible 2. And this show is going to be called Guess How Old Aristotle Is. 500 million years. I like keeping up the illusion, you know. So when I was 2 years old and I just seen Mission Impossible 2, I left the theater going, wow, that movie was just a motorcycle chase, rock climbing, and a helicopter exploding. 43, what are you talking about? You talking about that's one more than 42, which was Chadman Boseman's movie. So I went to the movie and I was like this. I left the movie, Mission Impossible 2, with Tandy Candy Newton. And I was like, this movie just feels like it was supposed to be rock climbing. Like somebody had an idea for a rock climbing sequence, John Woo, and then had an idea for a car driving sequence, which I was like, okay, yeah, I'm honest, but you know, I'll have you guess. Everything else is honest, except for my age. It's totally 27 for like the last decade or so. But when I left the theater, I just had the distinct feeling that the movie itself was just filler, and these set pieces were the only ideas that John Woo wanted to execute on film. And then he was like, oh, well, I guess I can crowbar these ideas that I had into a Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise, because these are great visual ideas. They were spectacular set pieces, incredible set pieces in Mission Impossible 2. The content, the substance, not so much. But I'm watching that movie and I was leaving it, and I remember running into my friend, who I will not name, because he's now a pretty significant editor / director now, which just goes to show, I mean, maybe my tastes are in the wrong places. So I was walking toward this equipment room in college where you rent your camera. When I was 2, where you rent your camera for filming. And my friend, who shall remain nameless, he worked in the equipment room, and he would rent out the gear to the students so that they could shoot their student films and stuff. And as I was walking toward the equipment room, I was talking with my friend, explaining the exact same thing. I'm like, the movie was completely substanceless. It was completely empty. I feel like it was just built around 3 set pieces, which was rock climbing. It was a car chase with motorcycles and helicopter chase. And that's all it felt like. So I wanted more. I thought I was left empty after watching the movie. It felt like nothing. It felt like it was just eye candy. And then, as soon as I finished my spiel on that, and I landed at the doorway of the equipment room, my friend, who shall remain nameless, who works in the equipment rooms, was like, yo, did you see Mission Impossible 2? I heard that movie was built around a rock climbing sequence, a car chase, and a helicopter. It was incredible. I was like, oh, you love it for the exact same reasons I hate it. So, go on to be an editor at Disney. Go on to direct feature films starring Method Man. All right. Ethan walks in the flaming door with the freaking doves. Yeah, it's beautiful. It is beautiful. Like, that is like one of the coolest images captured on film. Like, I can picture it in my mind. with the doves and everything. Like it's so freaking awesome. A sequence of cool shots does not a movie make. You know what I'm saying? The last mask reveal with the dude's henchman was sick. Look, there are some people who do like to go to the movies to say, look at the pretty pictures. That's fine. Movies are a story in pictures, and that's your right. But there is no accounting for taste. But there should be taste accountants. No, that's bad. You should not do that. I'm looking at your playlist. Yeah, you don't want these on your playlist. I'm your taste accountant. I'm just letting you know that this is not going to look good on your record. The taste police will come and take you away if you like... What? You like Chumbawamba? Get that out of you. Listen, don't tell anybody you like Chumbawamba. All right? I'm your taste accountant. I'm looking out for you. What about this? Huh? The Offspring? I'm gonna let that one go. But I'm gonna give you the side eye about it. Poindexter can't even... Dexter cannot even sing. Poindexter. He's a doctor, though. Apparently he's a doctor. He's a doctor of not singing. I would say if you watch your movie on mute, you still get the story, and still get the story, it's not good. If you can't watch, yes, I totally agree with you, Ange. If the story should be discernible from the images alone, if it is true to being a film. And I know that Kevin Smith kind of suffers from that because he's an excellent dialogue writer and he's really funny. I love Kevin Smith. He's so funny. The things that the actors say is funny. A lot of stuff that they do is funny also. But if you were to break down Kevin Smith movies and pictures, it's just a bunch of people talking at each other. I mean, you could still get the overall basic plot, especially if it involves a donkey show. You just watch. You just notice Holden's face in the thumbnail. I love how people still, I put his face real weird every week, and then I even pushed it even further this week. I was pushing his eyes further apart. I was just making Holden look worse and worse, and made his head the biggest head on the poster so that people maybe might notice this week, but it's been pretty bad every week. But it's funny that nobody notices. To me, that's hilarious. Nobody notices. They're like, oh yeah, that's Holden. That's Holden's face. He's holding a face. Yeah, go back now. Guess what, Jen? This is Jen the Fierce. This is gonna be like one of them moments in the movie where it's like a Kaiser Sose moment. You're gonna drop your mug on the floor and you're gonna look back at all of those other thumbnails of Holden's face going, oh my God, it's been there the whole time. And then you'll start to walk normal. You know what I'm talking about. The end of the movie. The end of Kaiser Sose. Listen, I'm gonna give away the end of The Usual Suspects. Kevin Spacey's Kaiser Sose. I'm sorry. It's 25 years old. Get over it. I've even resized it. I love that nobody noticed. It's just because, this is Holden. They'd be like, Holden, nice to see you. And he's like, Jen working diligently behind the scenes as the admin for the show and producer and brain trust for the Aristotle Full Throttle show. Ricky, I will figure out how to cast this show directly to Instagram. Right now I have a subscription for Restream, which crosses the streams. So I've got all of these streams up. Yeah, this was my only idea of a solution it was a temporary solution for the last 6 months. That's just his face. You're right. I'm not gonna make fun of his face. I'm just gonna cover it with Nicolas Cage's face. I do like these barbecue chips, by the way. These are good. Korean barbecue. I ate half this bag today. Korean barbecue. Kettle chips, man. They should not make these like $2 or $3. Like this whole bag was $3. And I'm like, guys, don't do that to me. All right? It's $3. I'm gonna have to buy 2 bags. Because ASMR. 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 Oh man, this tangy is good. Let me describe this flavor.
This flavor is really good. It's delicious. It's a delicious flavor. It's got a spiciness. My mouth is tingling. My mouth is tingly. I'm just making sure that nobody wants to stay here and everybody runs away.
ASMR. That's how you do it. ASMR. What else can I ASMR? Oh, this one's good. Ready? Oh wait. ASMR. What was that? ASMR. Yeah. You better get your COVID vaccine, or I'm gonna ASMR you with. I'm gonna give you a Fauci ouchie. Everybody's calling. Hey, remember on this show we coined the term Fauci ouchie? Because my name is Dr. Baby Yoda Fauci. I am the originator of the idea that you can get a Fauci ouchie, but apparently there was some young girl on the internet who came up with the same idea, and now she's getting all the credit. Some 6-year-old kid is getting all the credit. But I can't believe that. That's okay. But I'm going to get this guy, Fauci ouchie, right here. Okay. Fauci upset that the catchphrase was stolen and credited to a 6-year-old. But that's okay. I was watching this video and this woman stole a baseball from a little kid who I was like, what is wrong with people? This little kid, they threw this little kid a ball at a baseball game, and she tries to catch it, and this woman just grabs it from her and walks away and is like, yay! And I was like, what is the thing that's wrong with people? There were 2 things that really upset me the last day. That was one of them. I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Why would you, I can't wrap my brain around that. You know what I'm saying? Getting messages on Discord. I think that's what's wrong with the world. Now I go on to soapbox. I think it's ridiculous. You throw the ball to the kid and the woman wrestles it away from the kid and was happy about that. I can't believe it. I'm so sad about it. That's the biggest thing I'm sad about lately, which is hilarious because, hey, guess what? They ended the for-profit prisons yesterday. That's a big deal. Nobody seems to really talk about it too much. President Biden was like, oh yeah, no more for-profit prisons. Done. Executive order, baby. Awesome. Executive orders. People are going to be like, I don't know how long we're going to make this last. I was listening to the talk radios, and the guys were saying, you know, they're not going to convict Trump. He doesn't have the votes to get convicted as a ex-president being impeached. To me, I'm like, then what the heck will get you convicted? What the heck will get you convicted? If he runs again in 4 years and then wins again, that's it, man. We saw what he could do in like the last 2 weeks of his administration. My point is with why they should convict him and make it so he can't run again. Because he's straight up like, the idea is, you know, let's just bring everybody together. This impeachment is really dividing the country. Like, you guys, you realize that this dude divided the country deliberately. You realize that an attack, a siege on the Capitol building is divisive, and you should probably punish the person who incited that. But people are like, you know, it's just going to divide. I don't understand why there are no adults in the room when it comes to the government. I don't understand. It's just all smoke and mirrors. I think it's hilarious that people like Rand Paul exist in the first place. I think it's hilarious. Secondly, I think that Rand Paul was like, I took offense to when he said that there's nothing but racism going on. And it's like, well, if you took offense to that, you're probably a racist. If you took offense that Biden said that there is that this system and this country is plagued with racism, if you got offended by that, you might want to check your racism. You might want to go into your pockets, reach down deep. Maybe there's some in your belly button, your navel. Maybe there's some in there. Maybe you go check. Oh, I'm racist. You know what I'm saying? You might want to check your racism, Rand Paul. I just think that if you have 2 weeks left at your job, you should not be able to like smash all the windows and kill a cop. And then be like, oh, well, sorry. I had 2 weeks left. Listen, he's got 2 weeks left. Just let him finish his 2 weeks. But 2 weeks before he left, there was a riot. 5 people died. 1 on-duty cop, 1 off-duty cop. Yeah, but he's just got 2 weeks left. I mean, you know, and he can apply again in 4 years. That's true. Here's your racist card. I think people like Rand Paul have one laminated in their pocket. When people, you know what's funny? When people say, oh, you go play the race card. I love that. I love when people say that, because I'm like, it's just not a card. It's the whole hand, really. It's just, I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, and by the way, you might not have noticed this, but I'm brown. It's not playing a card. It's just interacting with humans in our society. It's just, it exists as a factor in interactions. It's just a fact. He has a gold membership OG. He's got like a 400-year membership racist card. Rand Paul's got like, congratulations, you've been a member for 400 years. Here's your gold card, Rand Paul. You know how you get that AAA card because your parents had AAA, and then they're like, here, you can jump on my AAA card, and you get like a 25-year membership. They're like, oh, Ron Paul's your dad? We're gonna grandfather you in that. You go right ahead. Get your racist card. Listen, you can cash that racist card in just about any store in America. This racist card will get you on the plane quicker. This racist card will get you. One of the best jokes I've heard in the last week was Chris Rock going, you know, the Four Seasons can't be racist. I wish Ricky's voice was saying this joke because Ricky could do the impression. The Four Seasons can't be racist, but a $4,000 a night can like they can't not let black people in, but they can with a $4,000 a night rental fee or whatever. I just destroyed that joke, but you know what I'm saying. Maybe I can find it because I laughed every time. I will laugh if I can find that joke. Chris Rock. What's his name? Chris. I can't tell you how many times in the 90s that I heard, listen, I heard people in this voice. I'm going to say this voice. I'm going to say this name in this voice and you will know what I'm talking about. But I remember so many times in the 90s when Chris Rock would, well, not Chris Rock, but Chris Tucker would be on the screen. Chris Tucker, you know, going, man, I'm Chris Tucker, man. You know, I can't tell you how many times I saw Chris Tucker in like, I would see a preview for like Rush Hour 14, and then somebody would be like, I could hear their voice in the back go, I just love Chris Rock. You know what I'm saying? You know what joke I'm You know what joke I'm talking about. You cannot say that black people are not invited to the Four Seasons Hotel, but you can with a $4,000 a night prohibitive fee for... It's true, though. It's true, though. It's funny because it's true, though. It's funny, though, because it's true, though. Anywhere in South gives double points. I just love Chris Rock. Listen, Chris Rock and Chris Tucker share the name Chris. And that's the only thing that I can think that they share in my head anyway. Because I think of one as an incredibly superior comedian. The other one, pretty funny. But one of them, like, is one of the greatest of all time. Like, the Mount Rushmore of comedians. If you was going to say top 10 comedians of all time, I would have to say number one is Richard Pryor. Let's do the countdown, right? I'm going to start at number one. Richard Pryor, and then George Carlin. Right after that. Because George Carlin wrote full, solid hours of comedy every year. Some people make 2-3 hours their whole life. So it goes Richard Pryor, best comedian. Well, he's the GOAT. And then right behind him, you've got George Carlin. Incredible. Increíble. I think Whoopi Goldberg's in the top 10. Because if you watch her comedy in the 80s, I don't know where she go in the top 10, but she is in the top 10. You watch her comedy, and it's like the most insanely well done character ideas that she has in the sorry, turn this music down. Robin Williams. So here's the thing about Robin Williams. I think he's one of the funniest people ever. Yeah, he's in the top 10. He's in the top 10 for sure. This modern comedians, you know, and then you've got people like Lenny Bruce who broke the whole thing open. Lenny Bruce like knocked down the door and was like, I'm saying the ideas that are in my head and I'm not going to edit them. I'm going to tell you my ideas because I want to speak truth. I want to speak the truth. And I'm going to talk like people talk. That was Lenny Bruce. Dave Chappelle is probably number 3 ever. Dave Chappelle. Probably number 3 ever. He's the greatest living comedian. Dave Chappelle, without a doubt, in my mind anyway, Dave Chappelle is the greatest living comedian. Steve Martin is the greatest comedian of his generation for sure. Wow. Now, Ricky, you bring in Steve Martin. That's left field. Tina Fey, listen, she's a comedian because she writes comedy. And Tina Fey has created some of the funniest stuff I've ever seen in the last 25 years. Like, and continues to do that. So, as far as the world of comedy, I think Tina Fey needs to be... I think she does not get any credit. She does not get the credit because she always plays down herself. She's always playing herself down. But she is definitely in the top... I'd say she's in the top 10 because I cannot tell you... Like, just think of all of the SNL stuff that she did. And then she did 30 Rock. And then she did, I believe, she's doing the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt right now. And then she did some other... It was just insane. I saw Kenan Thompson's get a sitcom. It looks funny. This is an aside, but Kenan Thompson is getting a sitcom. I watched the preview of it yesterday, and I was like, Kenan Thompson is hilarious. The thing I liked about the sitcom was that Don Johnson is in it, and he plays the token white guy in that. And I was like, that is something I've literally never seen in sitcoms. A token white guy. I mean, you've had Good Times. You had, back in the day, you had the Jeffersons. But it was more of, like, the Jeffersons being kind of the funny group. It was more in Good Times, it was more them being, like, kind of the outcasts or whatever. And in this Kenan Thompson comedy, it looks like he's a part of a family and he's like the main guy, and it just looks good. I mean, there was the show Rock too, which was pretty good back in the 90s. Now I'm thinking about all these other shows that I really love. Martin that was great. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. These are great shows. It's 2 years in the making, Kenan Thompson show. Well, it better be a hit because the dude's been on SNL for like 20 years, and I think it's time to get him his own show. Funny thing about Kenan Thompson is when I was a kid watching him on All That, welcome to Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Him and his friend Kenan and Kel. Like, when I was watching Kenan in Good Burger, the movie, also on Snakes on a Plane. Snakes! When I was watching Kenan growing up, I was like, when all that ended, I was like, where are you going to go? He got to go to SNL now. And literally the next year, he just went to SNL and has been on SNL since then. It made perfect sense to anybody who has eyes and ears. You were like, oh, Kenan Thompson is obviously the funniest thing on All That. And now he's 18 or 19 or 20. He needs to just go right over to SNL. Just like, don't pass go, don't collect $200. Well, maybe collect $200. Just go straight to SNL. So going back to the top 10. Comedians. Number one ever, Richard Pryor. Most incredible comedian. If you watch Richard Pryor, it's transfixing. If you watch George Carlin, your mind explodes with, oh my God, this guy's a super genius. Dave Chappelle is also a super genius. I'm kind of, I lose my mind watching Dave Chappelle. For instance, if you're watching, and then we're going to go watch The Expanse right after this. I'm just blabbing, but I got a thought in my head, and I want to share it with you. If you watch David Letterman interviewing Dave Chappelle on My Next Guest Needs No Introduction, that show on Netflix, I was watching that show. Now, the two of them, David Letterman, top 20 comedians of all time, in my opinion. If you watch that show, David Letterman is really smart. Dave Chappelle is a super genius human. So, immediately, the conversation that they're having starts out with pleasantries. And then they start talking about ideas. And then they quickly launch into, next level thinking. And you're watching these two, titans of observation, of human observation, these two titans, like David Letterman, incredibly funny. He can hold his own with any comedian. He's always good at like lobbing jokes in there with anybody. And so Dave Chappelle, watch that interview. Like, it will blow your mind. He like, his brain is just on a whole other plane, and it makes me like go like, what are we even doing? Like, what are we even doing? Dave Chappelle has already cracked the code. He's already tapped into something. So Dave Chappelle, he's the GOAT. I don't know, is he the GOAT or is he the GOAT today? He's the greatest living comedian for sure. It's debatable. It's debatable. I mean, I can't think of any other comedian who's generated more money over this time that he has. Maybe Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld's in the top 10, but Jerry Seinfeld is kind of, I give him the credit because I know that I put just 25 people in the top 10 just now, but Jerry Seinfeld, he gets credit for making one of the funniest shows ever. Showmanship mixed with inner growth and culture. Yeah. Dave Chappelle, like, I hope he gets over that COVID quick and gives us some more experiential comedy. Kevin Hart is hard to ignore. I watched his special. I watch all the specials that come out. I watch them all. I love comedians. I love comedy. I think that it's an art form like no other, in the sense that you don't have anything. You have a microphone. And if you don't have a microphone, you stand on a box. And that's it. And you've got to entertain a group of people with ideas and thoughts and just sounds that are coming out of your mouth. And maybe body movements. If you're like Sebastian Maniscalco, you're so physically funny that I saw Sebastian Maniscalco for the first time about 5 or 6 years ago in an amphitheater. And my seats were way up. He was in a long line of comedians. There were a lot of people that night. There was Aziz Ansari. There was Amy Schumer. Distant relative of Chuck Schumer, by the way. I was watching Sebastian Maniscalco. He was about this big, but I was laughing at everything he did because he's so physically funny. Chris Rock has that energy too. Chris Rock can walk. He can own a stage. He's just constant. Jim Carrey, there you go. Ricky, you on the button right there. You on the money with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is great. There's just so many like incredibly talented people. The Wayans brothers, all of the Wayans, yeah. My favorite comedian when I was real young, besides Ellen DeGeneres, by the way, I was the hugest fan of Ellen DeGeneres. Wanda Sykes right now, I think if you watch Wanda Sykes's, I think that's correct. I believe I said that correctly. If you watch Wanda Sykes's most recent comedy special, to me, that goes down as like one of the best specials ever. Because she is also like, just watch it. Out of the comedy specials of all time, like the top 20, I think that belongs in the top 20, top 25. Like Wanda Sykes, I'm telling you, Wanda Sykes, when I watched that special, I was like, oh, here you go. Like when I was a kid, I mean, on TV, I got to see Eddie Murphy. How did I not touch upon Eddie Murphy? How did I not mention Eddie Murphy yet? Maybe because he hasn't done stand-up in like 30 years. But when he was on SNL last December, or whatever, a year ago, December, feels like, I don't know how time works anymore. But when Eddie Murphy hosted Saturday Night Live, it's like Particle Man. When he's underwater, does he get wet? Or does the water get him instead? SNL gets Eddie Murphy instead. It's like SNL was on Eddie Murphy that night. Do you know what I'm talking about? Back in the day when Eddie Murphy was on SNL, it was just, he's a juggernaut. Is this a jug or not? Back in the day when Eddie Murphy was on SNL, he wasn't on the show. The show was on his shoulders. It's incredible. I'm gonna be damn it. It's amazing. Yeah, we going on this tangent with comedians, but we're about to watch The Expanse in just moments. We're just moments away from watching The Expanse. But this is a fun, lively discussion. I invite everybody to join it. Let me just check to see where people are at in the timeline. What we do each week is we watch the latest episode of The Expanse through Twitch. So if you go to twitch.tv/Aristotle Full Throttle, you'll have to log into your Amazon Prime Video account to watch along with me, but there are watch parties set up there, and I will just stream directly to Twitch immediately following this show, which will be probably in 10 minutes. And once we do that, hey, Fupami, once we do that, we will, that's what we'll do. It was SNL Presents Eddie Murphy, for sure. It really was not, like, it's just the Eddie Murphy show, especially back in the day. When you talk about all these comedians, I'm always moved and inspired because I think they got nothing but what their ideas are, their thoughts are. And that, to me, is truly inspiring. I got nothing but my shirts, my sweatshirts. I've got nothing but sweatshirts here, guys. Is this a juggernaut? Got to catch up on all of those things. Just got caught up on WandaVision. Remember, on Fridays, we watch WandaVision after the show. And on Thursdays, we have trivia, I think. Yes. Yeah, we do need to continue this on another show. Greatest comedians of all time. It's fun. I mean, I'm just a fan of people's ideas and thoughts that they have, their observations. I think comedy itself is important because I cannot believe people cancel comedians for saying things, for words that they say. It's never, I can believe canceling somebody for things that they do. But when a comedian goes up on stage, the goal is to trigger an involuntary laughter response. Sometimes they're good at it. Sometimes they're working for it. They're looking for it. It takes Chris Rock. Chris Rock always says it takes him 18 months to develop a new act because it takes 6 months of writing, 6 months of trying it out night after night in small clubs with other writers that are friends of his in the audience so that they can be like, here's a good button for that joke. Here's how to word that better. And then it's like another 6 months of playing shows, actual shows that are booked as Chris Rock headlining. And then at the end of that 6 months, that's when he tapes his special. And he does like 2 nights of the special, or at least 2 shows. It takes that long to develop. That's why I'm always amazed by George Carlin, because he had a full prepared written hour every year for HBO for like the last 25 years of his life. Incredible. I don't think anybody can touch that type of record. Although Dave Chappelle came out with 3 specials in like 2 months a couple years ago. Taylor Tomlinson, I think, has a long way to go. Though I will say, I did see Taylor Tomlinson over at Flappers in Burbank, and I was like, she's amazing. She was like nonstop. She had 10 minutes, and I was just like joke after joke after joke. She's just like full in your face energy, and it just like it was unparalleled that night. I was like, I remember her from that lineup. Also, Miss Pat. You guys know Miss Pat? If you need to check out Miss Pat. If you do anything with your life, check out Miss Pat. Ricky, you know Miss Pat? Oh my God. You need to, everybody in the world, like I saw that night, it was like, I remember Taylor Tomlinson and Miss Pat headlined. And if you don't know who Miss Pat is, your life is not fully enriched. So you need to check out Miss Pat. I can actually even recommend that you listen to the Joe Rogan episodes where he has Miss Pat on, because Joe Rogan cannot contain himself the whole time. Shantae Waynes. I don't know who Shantae Waynes. I know Kim Waynes. You know Miss Mizell. Guys, all right. This is what I'm going to leave you with right now, because I'm going to do my wrap up right now. Oh, we already played this song. Yeah, comedians. Let's start a new text. channel on Discord. Favorite comedians. Freudian slip. Did I have a Freudian slip? Did I say something? Miss Pat. Guys, check out Miss Pat. You will die. You will die dead twice. I promise you. So check out Miss Pat. Check out her out on... listen to the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't like Joe Rogan that much. I think he has got incredible guests sometimes. I think he thinks he's smarter than he is. But I know that I'm definitely dumber. That I'm dumber than dumb. And the thing is, Miss Pam. Oh, that's right, because you foo Pammy. I got that confused. Miss Pat is the... It is hard to listen to Rogan, but the thing is, Miss Pat does her act basically on Rogan, and he just is dying the whole time because it's just... She's a juggernaut. I don't know why the world don't know who Miss Pat is, but she's kind of breaking into the scene these last couple years. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Like, you will die. Oh, Jesus. But that's what we learned today, guys. You know, funny is funny. I was talking about people getting canceled for things that they say. They're just trying... Comedians are trying stuff out. Comedy... The comedy space should be a place where you are allowed to test ideas. People shouldn't bring in their cell phones to watch a comedian on a night where they're testing out material with an audience. Because they will learn quickly whether or not something they said is funny or not. But the thing is, they ought to be allowed to say it. They ought to be allowed to try to say, to express their ideas. There are so many people, and Dave Chappelle makes a joke about bloggers going home and writing about stuff when their comedians are just testing out the ideas. They will know that it doesn't work because there is a razor test. If you laugh, it is funny. If you do not laugh, it is not funny. Period. So let people say the things in their mind. When they're testing them out, especially comedians. Let comedians do that, because comedians need to explore the thoughts that we might have in our head, but nobody says. Comedians ought to be allowed to say those things in a forum, just like the court jester of days of yore. The court jester would literally tease the king. The court jester would tease the gallery, the folks, the court. He or she would tease and say the things like the court jester would say, "The king is fat." And everybody would laugh because the king was fat. But they were allowed to say it because no one else can. Comedians ought to be allowed to say what no one else can. That's my point. Or at least try. If it's funny, it's funny. If it's not, it's not. And that's how we learn. I'm Aristotle Full Throttle. I'll see you in moments. I will be right back momentarily on Twitch, twitch.tv/Aristotle Full Throttle. Like, subscribe, share. Thank you guys so much for joining me on Aristotle Full Throttle. I was just on a tear today. I was just having fun. We're just having so much fun today. Why not have some fun? Who likes fun? You like fun? No? Then get out of here. No, fun's great. Fun is great. I have it all the time. It's fun. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for your earballs and your eyeballs. See you in like 5 minutes. Bye.